السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Dr. Jamal Farhan online courses introduce to you a free lecture for further more information. معلومات زيادة متقدمة. Contact us through our social media. ممكن تواصلوا من خلال السوشيال ميديا الظاهرة في الشاشة seen in the screen. Or you can go to the comment section below and the description في خانة الوصف أو التعليقات تحت هتلاقوا رابط مباشر في الواتساب businesses. Not to take more of your time عشان ما ناخذ كثير من وقتكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، وإن شاء الله تستفيدوا من هذه المحاضرة. بالتوفيق للجميع.
Hello, we come back to continue our anatomical landmark of the complete denture. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's begin. We already described the definition of anatomical landmark, and we talked about the extraoral anatomical landmark on the first lecture, and we already described the intraoral maxillary supporting and relieving and limiting structure. And we now on the mandibular anatomical landmark. On the previous lecture, we talked about what we called it supporting anatomical landmark, and today we are considering the limiting structure of the mandible, and the next lecture will be inshallah with the relieving area. So in the previous lecture we talked about the supporting structure. We described the residual ridge and the buccal shelf, which is primary spearing area of the mandible, and also we describe the mylohyoid. So today we are going to describe all these limiting structure. Labial frenum, which is here, labial frenum, and labial vestibule, this is labial vestibule. Buccal frenum, this is the buccal frenum، الحاجة اللي طالعة هنا كذا، يعني قطعة موصلة بين الفك والشفة والخدود يعني. This is the buccal frenum, and this is the buccal vestibule, and this is the retromolar bed. Sorry, this is the buccal shelf. This is the retromolar bed, and the lingual frenum. This is the lingual frenum which attach the tongue اللي تكون لاصقة باللسان من تحت، هي اللابيال فرينم. and you have something called alveolo-lingual sulcus. This is alveolo-lingual sulcus اللي جوا داخل من جوا هذا المكان، اللي بتيجي فيها حاجة اسمها lingual phalanges تبع الطقم عندنا buccal phalanges and lingual phalanges which be on the alveolo-lingual sulcus. And in the next lecture we will talk about the relieving structure, and we will describe each one individually. So today we'll continue on the limiting structure. We'll start on the first one, labial frenum, and we already described the labial frenum. Labial frenum is a fold of mucosal membrane، يعني هو عبارة عن طية أو انثناء من الغشاء المخاطي الغشاء الداخلي للميكوزا that connects the mucosa of the lower lip، الغشاء تبع الشفة السفلية، to the alveolar process at the midline. مع الالفيولار process هذا في الميدلاين، هذه هي اللابيال فرينوم. Sometimes labial frenum help us to determine where is the central incisor. يعني هذا اللابيال فرينوم عادة تساعدنا في تحديد وين مكان الأسنان الأمامية، القواطع اللي هو السنترال incisor، فتحدد لنا الميدل لاين. So the significance، أهمية اللابيال فرينوم، it's relieve carefully، يعني لازم يكون فيها نوتش كذا، اوكي، يكون نوتش كذا في الطقم، so it's not cause a soreness بمعنى يعني احمرار أو ورم أو شيء زي كذا. Okay, so the labial notch on the denture to prevent the soreness as we say it, and the median and maintain the peripheral seals، لأنه تخيل لو كان الطقم جاي كذا مغطى عليها وهي تتحرك فيكون peripheral seals الجوانب المسكرة هذه كويس، يعني هتخف من ناحية المسكة فيها. زي الله يكرمكم حق الحمامات، هذيك الشطاف اللي يجي كذا تضغط عليه وهو يعني يسحب معك. if I get pictures I help you, but I don't know this one which is like this. Okay, something like this, something like this. You use it in the bathroom, so help you to push which inside the what you called it, I don't know. يعني هذا الشيء اللي يجي تدف فيه كذا، الله يكرمكم، اللي يكون في المرحاض وغيره. فهي نفس الفكرة. لو كان هذا المكان يعني سكر من كل الأماكن كويسة فيكون الضغط فيه قوي، لكن لو كان فيه فراغ فبيخرج منه الهواء. This is called peripheral seals، يعني الدائرة هذه كاملة peripheral seals. كون إنه في مشكلة هنا زي مثلا labial freenum يسبب إنه ترخى الريتنشن ويصير peripheral seals، يعني not probable، يعني ما كويس بشكل عام يعني. So secondly is the labial vestibule, and we say this is the labial freenum, this is the labial vestibule. It's extend between the labial freenum and the buccal freenum, and this is the buccal freenum as you see. So it's extend between them، يعني هي ممتدة بينهم. الsignificance أهميتها it accommodate the labial flanges of the denture. صحيح، labial flanges تكون هنا. And this area denture flanges in relation to the orbicularis oris and incisives labilla inferioris. These are muscles found on the anterior part of the lips. هي عضلات موجودة في الجزء الأمامي من الشفة، وهي الأوربيكولاريس أورس، هي العضلات اللي تخليك تسكر فمك، تفتح فمك، تضحك، تبتسم، فهي اللي تكون حوالين الشفة كاملة، مع العضلة الثانية اللي هو الانسيسفاليس ليبياي انفيريورس. هذه عضلتين مع بعض، فيكون المنطقة هذه تتأثر في العضلتين which determine the length and the thickness of the labial phalanges. يعني هذول العضلتين أصلا هم اللي يعني يحددوا الثيكنس، سمك الفلانجز تبع الدنشر. It form a part of the valve seal area. يعني هي أصلا كمان تهمنا إنه تسوي يعني زي الصمام، أو يعني منطقة إنه يصير فيها sealing area، منطقة التحام. اوكي، يصير فيها التصاق ويصير عندنا في retention، في تماسك في الدنشر، عشان كذا ما يطلع لفوق وينفك يعني. اوكي، the buccal freenum. This is the buccal freenum. It is the fold of mucosal membrane in the premolar area attached to the lip to lower alveolar ridge. This is the lip, this is the lower alveolar ridge, and this is the premolars teeth. فهو يعني في هذه المنطقة as it's described on its definition، زي ما وصفت في التعريف حقها. الsignificance أو أهميتها buccal notch، يعني لازم يكون في buccal notch عشان نفس الفكرة حق labial freenum. Must provide through the lower denture phalanges to accommodate the freenum and prevent denture dislodgements، عشان يمنع تأرجح أو تحرك الطقم. So 4 is the buccal vestibule, and the buccal vestibule or buccal retraction area. It's extend posteriorly from the buccal freenum to the anterior border of the ramus of the mandible. So this is the ramus of the mandible, this is the body of the mandible, and this is the buccal freenum. So it's extended from here to here. Okay, this is the buccal vestibule. The significance, the importance of this area, it accommodates the buccal flanges of the mandibular denture, and it's a part of the part of the valve seals as on the labial vestibule. يعني نفس الفكرة حق labial vestibule. A retromolar pad. 5 retromolar pad, and we say this is the buccal shelf, and this is the retromolar pad. and retromolar pad is a triangular pad of soft tissue. يعني عبارة عن شكلها يجي triangular في أشكال ثانية، لكن المور dominant يعني أكثر شيوعا هو triangular شكله مثلثي. Distal to the end of the lower ridge يعني خلف lower ridge. It's covered with non-keratinized epithelium. ما فيها كيراتين منطقة الابيثيليوم هذه. طيب retromolar pad is an area where a lot of muscles are attached or correspond each other. فعندنا عضلات تتقاطع فيما بينها at the retromolar pad. These muscles are buccinator fibers and the superior pharyngeal constrictor and the retromolar raphe. These are three muscles are correspond on the retromolar pad. So let's see the significance or the importance of the retromolar pad. أهميتها. Retromolar pad should be covered by the denture to provide a perfect peripheral or border cells. لازم تغطى في الدنشر. العضلات اللي موجودة, as we said, the muscles that cross on the retromolar pad are the buccinator fibers enters from the buccal side. So there is some fibers enters from here. This is called buccinator fibers. And the superior pharyngeal constrictor of the pharynx enters from the lingual side. So there is some fibers also from the lingual sides. And the trigomandibular raphe enters from the back inside corner from here. Okay, these are three muscles attached on the retromolar pad. So 6 we have the lingual frenum, and this is the lingual frenum. This is the lingual vestibule or called alveolo-lingual sulcus. So the lingual frenum is a fold of mucosa also extend from the floor of the mouth. This is the floor of the mouth. Extend to under surface of the tongue, under the tongue. Okay, تحت اللسان. In the midline also. يهمنا إنه in the midline. The significance of this lingual frenum, the importance of its failure to relieve the lingual frenum lead to soreness and dislodgements. يعني بيصير في عندنا ورم واحمرار إذا ما تم حصل لها ريليف، يعني سوينا لها حركة النوتش هذه بحيث إنه تكون هنا في فراغ تتحرك فيها هي. So this is the significance or the importance of this. So we have the 7th one, which the last one is the alveolo-lingual sulcus or lingual vestibule. Extend from the lingual frenum anteriorly to the retromylohyoid curtains posteriorly. So if we like this, this is the lingual frenum and it's extended from here posteriorly to the mylohyoid or retromylohyoid. As you know, on the mandible, okay, let's see, this is the mandible. I'm bad in drawing زي الرسم, لكن let's say this is the mandible, and we say there is something called mylohyoid ridge, right? Sorry, it's not like this. We need another things. Okay, wait for a second. Eraser. أيوة. Sorry. So let's say this is the mandible and there is something called retromolar pad. It's like mylohyoid ridge. It's like this. Okay. So now save this picture so we can describe it here. So this is the lingual notch. Okay. And we have here at the end is the retromolar or retromylohyoid eminence, and we have the pre-mylohyoid eminence. So these are like the beginning of the mylohyoid ridge and the end of the mylohyoid ridge, as it's appear here. It's like here and here. Okay. Now it's divided into three parts: anterior part, posterior, middle part, and posterior part. The anterior part is extended between the lingual frenum, this is the lingual frenum, and the pre-mylohyoid fossa. So it's before the mylohyoid fossa a little bit. So it's kind on this picture from here to here. Okay, this is the anterior part. And the middle part is from the pre-mylohyoid ridge to the distal ends of the mylohyoid ridge. So it's kindly from here to here. Okay. And posteriorly, retromylohyoid fossa region, okay, extend from the end of the mylohyoid ridge to the retromolar cartons. Okay, so this is the end of the retromolar or mylohyoid ridge, and extend from here. There is something called retromolar cartons or carton. It's here like, okay, I know my drawing is so bad, but it's described like this, as it's appear here clearly. So this is the this is the anterior part, this is the middle part, and this is the middle part, and this is the posterior part. Okay, let me get this. Bas. Okay, anterior, middle, posterior part. So the anterior part is shallowest portions of the lingual phalanges. Okay, anterior part is shallow phalanges because as you see, there is a lingual frenum, so it should be let's say this is the lingual frenum. Sorry. Okay. I know it's like a coach, but it's a mandible. Okay, this is the labial frenum or lingual frenum. So the labial or the anterior part will be shallow because this. So it will be like this. Okay, it will be shallow. Shallow يعني سطحي. Anterior part. Okay. Okay. Where is it? Here. Let's draw here to be more simple. راح أرسم هنا قدر المستطاع. Okay, so here is the wait. Okay, this is, as we said, here is the lingual frenum, and this is the lingual notch and the anterior part, so it's shallow يعني جاية سطحية. Okay, the middle part should slope toward the tongue. Okay, so this is the tongue, so it will be slope toward the tongue like insidely, like became with the tongue. Okay, the phalanges height increase because it can extend below the mylohyoid attachment. So we are going down. Okay, because now we don't have something to limit us. And then avoid the impingements of the sublingual glands and submaxillary ducts. Impingements means إنه ممنوع إنك تصدم أو تضغط على هذه الأماكن، على الغدة اللي تحت اللسان والسبماxillary ducts. نحاول إنه avoid it، نجتنبها أو نتجنبها. Allow the tongue to rest on the phalanges aids in the retention. لأنه لو كانت الفلانجز كملناها زي كذا وكملنا مع الريترومورال باد المايلوهايويد ريدج، اللسان بيكون كذا يعني فوقه مرتاح، rest on يعني متكي عليه كأنه. فthis help us for retention. okay, تمنعه إنه الطقم يطلع بعدين. The posterior part slopes away from the tongue toward the ridge. بيكون يعني نازل كذا من تحت اللسان وطالع مع الرج، يعني بيكون قريب أو بجهة الرج، بجهة هذا الرج العظمى اللي تكلمنا عليها. So I think it will appear here as on the denture, showing the final impression of the mandibular denture foundation. One is the anterior lingual sulcus. So this is the anterior lingual sulcus. Okay. Region of pre-mylohyoid elements. This is, as we said, here is the pre-mylohyoid, and it's supposed to be there is something called post or after, and we will see it. And number 3 is the region of the mylohyoid. So here is the mylohyoid. Okay, mylohyoid muscles and mylohyoid ridge. Okay, retromylohyoid region. So retro means as post or يعني after. retro معناها خلف. فretromylohyoid ridge is number 4, as you see here. And we have region of the retromorbad, as we say, this is the retromorbad. So it will be distally. And this tubercle region is number 6. This is the distobuccal region. Okay, from inside. That's for today. As in the limiting structure of the mandible, I hope you get to understand it. I'm trying, or I tried my best to explain it to you, and I try my best to do what I can do. So thanks for watching. Keep going, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And see you in the next lecture. والسلام ختام.